Welcome to all. Myself K. Lata. I am a contract lecturer in botany working with Dr. BRR Government College at Kerala. Today we discuss about the Pinus reproduction. In Pinus species, vegetative reproduction is absent in the Pinus species. Only the reproduction takes place by means of sexual reproduction, sexual means. The Pinus species are bisexual, means both the male reproductive structure and the female reproductive structures are developed in the same plant. Here, the reproductive structures are known as the cones, male cone as well as female cone. The male cone is the male reproductive structure and the female cone is the female reproductive structure is known as the female cone. These cones are developed on the different branches of the same plant, means they developed in the single plant but on different branches. Let us see the structure of male cone. These are developed as the bunches at the terminal region of the dwarf branches. Generally, the male reproductive and female reproductive cones are developed on the dwarf branches. Generally, the Pinus plants, they contains two different types of branches, long branches and the dwarf branches. Long branches, they show unlimited growth, and the dwarf branches, they show limited growth. The limited growth of the branches, they contains the reproductive structures. They develop the reproductive structures. Generally, these dwarf branches are developed on the long shoots. Generally, they developed in the axils of the scale leaves of the dwarf branches. On the dwarf branches, from the scale leaves of their axial regions, they develop the male cones as the bunches of the grapes, like they look like the bunch of the grapes. Generally, they developed during the months of March and April. They generally, the plants which are growing in hilly regions, they developed male cones during the months of March and April, whereas the plants which are growing in plain areas, they developed during the months of January. They develop the male cones. These male cones are considered as the modified dwarf branches. This is the general structure details of the male cone. Then let us see the internal structure of the or longitudinal structure of the male cone. Each male cone has a small stalk that is ranges from 5 centimeters long peduncle and the center of the male cone has the axis. It contains the axis. In the axis, around the axis, approximately 60 to 135 microsporophylls are developed on the cone axis, and they are arranged in a spiral manner. Each microsporophyll is in a triangular in shape. These are sessile in nature, means they are attached to the cone axis. They lack the stalk. Here, the apical part of each microsporophyll is known as apophysis. Generally, it slightly bent backward. It is in a sterile part. Generally, the apical portion of the microsporophyll bent backward, and this region is known as apophysis. It is in a sterile structure. Then, two microsporangia are developed on the lower side of the microsporophyll. Each microsporophyll, from the lower side of the microsporophyll, it develops two microsporangia in each microsporophyll. Within the microsporangium, many pollen grains, winged pollen grains are developed within each microsporangium. This is the structural details of the male cone. Then let us see how the microsporangia is developed on the microsporophyll. Generally, the microsporangia development is a eusporangiate method. Means here in the development of microsporangia, some group of initials take part in the total developmental process. Hence, that kind of developmental method is known as eusporangiate. Whereas in leptosporangiate, here means only single initial is totally involves in the developmental process. That kind of development is known as leptosporangiate. Whereas in eusporangiate, a group of initials they take part in the developmental process of the microsporangia. Hence, that kind of developmental procedure is known as eusporangiate. Here, the Pinus species, the microsporangia development is belongs to the eusporangiate method. They developed in the eusporangiate mode. Here, group of initials which are differentiated from the hypodermis of the microsporangium microsporophyll. They are some of the group of cells, some of the group of cells which are from the hypodermis region. They act as meristematic cells, and these cells divides periclinially and forms two cells, outer cells and the inner cells. The outer cells are known as the parietal cell, the inner cell is known as the sporogenous cell. The parietal cells again divides and forms 2 to 3 rows of sporangial wall. Of these, the inner layer is differentiated into tapetum. Tapetum, generally it is a nutritive layer. It gives the nourishment to the young developing microspores. Then the remaining two layers are acts as the microsporangial wall. Then the sporogenous cell now divide and form microspore mother cell. These microspore mother cell now undergoes meiosis division or reductional division and forms 4 haploid microspores in the microsporangium. These 4 haploid microspores are also known as pollen grains. They are light yellowish in color. Generally, these microspores, when within the microsporangium, where the microspores are developed within the microsporangium, they show longitudinal adhesions. After the longitudinal adhesions, they release it from the microsporangial wall. The surroundings of the pollen grains are liberated or look like the yellowy dust. This process is known as a shower of sulfur. Then let us see the structure of the pollen grain. Here, pollen grain is the microscopic structures. They show bilateral symmetry. Generally, each pollen grain is covered by 2 layers. They are exine, intine. The outer layer is known as exine and the inner layer is known as intine. The outer layer is thick in nature and the intine is thin in nature. Means exine is thicker than the intine layer. Generally, intine germinate where the pollen grain germinate and produce the pollen tube. The intine helps in the production of pollen tube. From the distal side of the pollen grain, 2 balloon-like structures they hang at their lateral regions are known as air sacs or wings. These winged-like pollen grains is the characteristic feature of this Pinus species. From the distal side of the pollen grain, it has a small slit-like sulcus. Hence, these are also known as monosulcate grains. Means they contain only single sulcus. Hence, they are known as monosulcate pollen grains. Generally, the Pinus pollen grains are the microscopic structures. They show bilateral symmetry. They are monosulcate pollen grains, and also they contain the 2 air sacs or wing-like structures at their lateral regions. From the distal side, these with the help of these wings, they carried out from the male cone to the female cone. They helps in the pollination process and dispersal mechanism. Presence of winged pollen grains is the major characteristic feature, identification feature of the Pinus species. This is the structure of pollen grain. Now let us see the male gametophyte development. Um, Pollen grain is the first stage of the male gametophyte. Here, generally the development takes place in microsporangium, and the remaining development will takes place in the female cone. Here, the partially developed male gametophyte is carried out by the winds and reached to the pollen grain. After the reaching of the pollen chamber, it again divides completely and forms the male gametes. Here, how let us see how the male gametophyte development takes place in the Pinus species. Firstly, the pollen grain nucleus divides and forms two cells, one small cell and the uh, large cell. The small cell is known as the prothallal cell and the large cell is known as the central cell. Again, this large central cell divides and forms a secondary prothallal cell and the antheridial cell. These first prothallal cell and the second prothallal cells, they degenerate and they form a small scark-like structure on the pollen grains. Now the antheridial cell divides and forms two cells, one generative cell, the remaining tube cell. At this four-celled stage means two prothallal cell, one generative cell and the tube cell. At this cell they shed from the plants and they disperse into the air. This partially developed four-celled male gametophyte will reach the pollen chamber and developing in the female gametophyte through the pollination drop. Within the development, let us see, this is the this picture gives the details of the development of the male gametophyte. Here the partially developed male gametophytes, they carried out from the winds and due to the pollination process they carried out from the male cone from the air winds to female cone. Within the female gametophyte, the remaining development will take place. Generally, during this partially developed male gametophyte waits for the fertilization till the development of female gametophyte. Generally, the female gametophyte, female cone, it attains maturity in 3 years. By that time, the pollen grain germinate and develops the pollen tube. Then the pollen tube cell enter into the pollen tube and the generative cell will remain in the pollen grain itself. By this time, the female gametophyte is in 32 free nucleated stage. At this stage, the male gametophyte undergo some resting period for the period of 9 months. Till the production of archegonium, it undergo some resting period. Again, the male gametophyte will be active during the March month of the next year before the development of female gametes. Then the generative cell in the pollen grain divides and form two cells, one sterile stalk cell and the body cell. Now this body cell again divides and develops two non-motile male gametes. These changes rapidly takes place only 1 week before prior to the fertilization. Means it generally undergoes some resting period for the 9 months period, after where the female gametophyte takes place, development will be takes place, then only it active and it becomes active and divides and forms the stalk cell and the body cell. Now this body cell they divides and forms the two non-motile male gametes. During this time, the pollen tube develops rapidly and penetrates in the nucellus and then reaches near the neck of the archegonium. This facilitates the fertilization process. This is the male gametophyte development. Now, let us see the structure of a female cone. Generally, female cones are also originate on the place of long shoots, whereas the male cones are developed on the dwarf branches, whereas the female cones are originated in the place of long shoots. They developed in the axial regions of the scaly leaves. It takes a maturity in 3 years. Let us see the structure of the female cone. Each female cone has a small stalk and several megasporophylls. When we see the longitudinal section of the female cone, it has a central cone axis. Around this cone axis, approximately 20 to 90 megasporophylls are arranged spirally. Each megasporophyll is a compound structure. It contains two parts. One is the bractyscale, second one is the ovuliferous scale. The bractyscale is thin and dried and slightly bent backward, and this region is known as ambo. Ovuliferous scale is developed from the axis of the bractyscales. Two inverted ovules are formed in the ovuliferous scale at the adaxial side of the ovuliferous scale. Each ovule is inverted ovule. Next, we see nature of ovuliferous scale. Different scientists opinioned that nature of the ovuliferous scale in the Pinus species. Generally, Brown, Sachs, Eichler, they looked upon the female cone as a flower, and some other equated the female cone as the inflorescence. Let us see what are the different opinions regarding the ovuliferous scale in the Pinus species. They had opinion that the female cone is in a solitary flower. According to Sachs and Eichler, the bractyscale is an unsheathed carpel. But Brown and others described the female cone as the open carpel. Here, Sachs and Eichler, they opined that unsheathed carpel. Here, Brown and others, they opined as an open carpel. But again, Florin and others had an opinion that the female cone is an homologous with the inflorescence. It looked like the inflorescence. They came into this conclusion after studying many coniferous fossils of the Paleozoic era. According to these scientists, the central axis of the cone is homologous to the axis of the inflorescence axis, and the bractyscale is the real bract, and the ovuliferous scale is a rudimentary flower. They studied these characters in 3 species. This type of structural characters majorly found in the fossil cones of the Lebachia, Ernostodendron and Voltigia of the Paleozoic era. These 3 fossils belongs to the Paleozoic era. In these species, the female cone resembles the female flower. Here, based on all these characters, Florin came to the conclusion that the Pinus female cone is a compound strobilus. Next, let us see how the ovule development will take place in the megasporangium, megasporophyll. Generally, the ovule is also known as megasporangium. Here, the ovule development will take place in 1 year after the origin of the female cone. As already we know, it attains maturity in 3 years. After the formation of female cone, after 1 year of the formation of female cone, the ovule development takes place in the female cone. Some of the cells, the upper surface of the cells, they act as the megasporangium initials. These cells, they divides and develops a small swelling, rounded like swelling like structure. This rounded like swelling like structure is contains the several parenchymatous cells. This parenchymatous cell is megasporangium is known as nucellus. This nucellus is covered by a protective sheath called integument. This integument, ovule integument, is fused with the nucellus except the micropylar region. It gives the small space, it leaves a small space for the micropylar region. Through this region, the pollen tube enter into the pollen grains are enter into the female gametophyte. The integument, generally the ovules of Pinus ovules are unitegmic ovules, means here the ovule is only covered by the single integument. But the integument again, it has 3 layers: outer layer, middle layer, inner layer. Outer layer is fleshy in nature, middle layer is stony in nature, and inner layer is fleshy in nature. The outer and inner fleshy layers are also known as sarcotesta because they are fleshy in nature. These layers are known as the sarcotesta. Then the middle layer is stony in nature. It is made up of with the sclerenchymatous tissue and they are known as sclerotesta. Outer layer and inner layer are fleshy in nature. They are known as sarcotesta. And the middle layer is stony in nature. They are known as sclerotesta. This is the development of ovule or megasporangium. Now let us see megasporogenesis. What is megasporogenesis? When we see the definition of megasporogenesis, the formation of megaspores from the megaspore mother cell during the meiosis is known as the megasporogenesis. Here within the nucellus a small depression is formed. In this depression the cell divides and forms it acts as then a primary primordial cell. This primary primordial cell again divides and forms the 2 cells, one parietal cell, another sporogenous cell. The sporogenous cell is modified into megaspore mother cell. Now this megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis division or reductional division. They form megaspores tetrad. These megaspore tetrads are arranged in a linear manner, one above the other. Of these 4 megaspores, the chelagel side megaspore is functional and the remaining 3 megaspores which are present at the micropylar region, they are degenerated and only one chelagel functional megaspore only takes place in the development of megaspore female gametophyte. Here after the pollination, the female gametophyte development takes place from this megaspore. Let us see how the female gametophyte development takes place in the Pinus species. Here only functional chelagel megaspore, chelagel side, the functional chelagel side megaspore is divides and forms the female gametophyte. Here the origin of the female cone starts in the first week of the February month, whereas the megaspore mother cell is formed during the middle of the February. After the pollination, generally the pollination takes place during the middle of the March. During the mature megaspore, during this after the pollination, the mature megaspore, it enlarges and undergoes many free nuclear divisions. After the Generally, these free nuclear divisions are up to the 30 to 100 nuclei. Generally, at this stage, it undergoes some resting period. That is approximately February in the month of the second year. Again, this female gametophyte megaspore becomes active and divides and and takes place in the development of female gametophyte. The free nuclear cells again divides and forms approximately 2500 free nuclei are formed in the female gametophyte. Then the cell wall formation takes place from the lower side and they form cellular gametophyte. This cellular haploid gametophyte is known as the endosperm. Generally, this endosperm is haploid in nature. It is formed before the fertilization. Generally, in angiosperms, the endosperm is formed after the fertilization, but whereas in gymnosperms the endosperm formation takes place before the fertilization. It is also one of the major important characteristic features of the gymnosperms. Here the endosperm is a haploid in nature. It is developed before the fertilization. Then from the upper side of the cells, free nuclei cells, one of the cell acts as an archegonial initial. This archegonial initial cell divides and forms two cells, upper primary neck cell and the lower large central cell. Means one cell is primary neck cell, second one is the central cell. The neck cell again divides and forms a tier of 4 neck cells. This picture gives the clear details of the neck region. Here the neck contains the 4 neck cells. They are arranged in a single tier. The next, the central cell again divides and forms the two cells, ventral canal cell and the egg cell. Generally, in the Pinus, only single egg is present, but in some species, these archegonia or 2 to 5 archegonia are also formed in some species. Within each archegonia, it contains a single egg cell. Now, let us see how the fertilization will take place in this Pinus species. Before the fertilization, the pollen tube enlarges and they penetrate into the neck cells of the archegonium and then reaches the egg of the archegonium. Then the tip of the pollen tube bursts and releases these two non-motile male gametes into the venter of the archegonium. Of these two non-motile male gametes, one of the male gamete active and they fuses with the egg nucleus and form a diploid zygote. This fusion of the male gamete and the egg nucleus is known as the fertilization. Due to this fertilization, diploid zygote or oospore will form. This oospore or zygote divides and forms the embryo. Generally, only single embryo or single zygote will form after the fertilization. But in some species, due to the formation of 2 to 5 archegonia or 2 to 5 egg nucleus which are present in the Pinus species, due to this character, more than 2 embryos are formed. This condition is known as the polyembryony. But only one single embryo is formed in the Pinus species. It divides and forms the next generation of the plant. Normally, Pinus fertilization takes place 1 year after the pollination. Means after the pollination, it takes 1 year for the fertilization process. This is about the Pinus reproduction.